Hi everyone, I would like to give you a small task this morning. I will play a voice note of an interview that was carried out in the year 1959. It involves one great African leader who ever graced the land. Some say he was a puppet of the colonial powers, but to me, this African leader was pushing for the unity of African nations, and I really want to urge everyone to give him his flowers. I want everyone to go to the comment section and identify who this leader was, and just from the voice note, I want you to identify who he was and which country he hailed from. So I'll go straight into playing the voice note. Okay.
That in contrast to the United States of Africa.
Would you affiliate with the Arabs of the northern half of Africa?
In our present attitude, we regard that countries like Egypt, Tunisia, Morocco, the Sudan, which I think you are referring to, are part of Africa. And consequently, it is quite possible that a workable unit could be created in the north, and which later on would probably associate with other units in the rest of Africa.
Yes. You have said that you would offer Europeans the hand of friendship. Well, I believe at the Accra meeting in December, you said Europeans should scram out of Africa. Now, what did you mean by that?
I am very glad that you raised this point, because I think it is often difficult for us to be sure that we are correctly reported. And I want to take this opportunity to say exactly what I said. I said at Accra that in contrast to the 1884 Berlin Conference, the Accra Conference was convened to unite Africa, to create the African community. And whereas the Berlin Conference started what history has referred to as the scramble for Africa, in Accra we were meeting to state in definite terms to the colonial powers, not European individuals, to the colonial powers, that they would have to scram out of Africa.
I have also heard you reported as saying that you are not for Africa for Africans only, that all would be equal before the law. Is that true?
This is true, except I want to qualify that statement by saying, whereas Africa for Africans is quite a logical and a satisfactory phrase to use, the qualification is that it is dependent on one's definition of African. Now, so long as the definition of African includes any person, regardless of his color, who has decided to make Africa his home, I do not see why anyone should quarrel with us. And I want to submit that when Europeans emigrate to Australia, they call themselves Australians. When they emigrate to Canada, they are quite content to be called Canadians. I see no reason why they should be ashamed to be called Africans.
Mr. Hensley.
Well, Mr. Amboya, you...
Can you identify who this African leader was?